Hello everyone, my name is David Herrera and I'm here from the tips team giving you another after school tech tip. Now, today we're going to talk about new features in Google Docs. Before we jump into that though, just a reminder to subscribe to our YouTube channel where we post weekly videos on educational technology integration. We talk about Google Workspace, artificial intelligence, digital citizenship, and many other topics. Without further ado, let's jump right into today's topic, new features in Google Docs. We're going to talk about 5 new features that have been added to Google Docs over the last couple of years or so. Now, building blocks are a feature that's actually been around for a while. It's a way to add a block of text or a specific type of formatting to your document. They can be found under the Insert tab in Google Docs, and if you scroll down to building blocks, you'll see that there's the most commonly generated, or the ones that Google kind of wants to point out to you very easily. For example, meeting notes, email drafts. If you do any kind of coding, you can add a code block. Those are the most commonly used one. Let's start with meeting notes. Now, when I go to add a meeting note, it will show me my calendar, anything that I have created in my calendar in order for it to create a new meeting note. So this is very helpful if you have like faculty meetings or department meetings. And once I click on that, you're going to see that it creates a default meeting note template. So it has attendees, notes, action items, and then it also includes a link to the calendar invite as well as the date. As well, another very new building block is the AI summary. So Gemini has come to Google Docs very recently. And if you go to Insert, Building Blocks, AI Summary, it's going to use Gemini to insert a block of text that is a summary of your document. Of course, this is going to work better for longer documents where maybe you want to read a quick summary before diving into everything. If I click on the checkbox, it's going to leave it there. And if the document ever changes, I can go and click on refresh, and it's going to use Gemini again to summarize the document. Okay, now another thing I can do with building blocks is to actually create my own building blocks. So let's say I want to add to all of my assessments a name and a date placed at the very top. This is just a very simple example. Once I select the whole text, I can right click and go to save as a custom building block. And then I can go name/date and click on create. I've already created this one though, so I'm just going to show you how to add it. Another way to add building blocks really quickly is to type the @ symbol. And then you'll see that I get this menu where I can add building blocks, mark chips, audio buttons, all sorts of other things. But I can start typing in what my building block is called. So I called it name/date. And you'll see that it's already in here as a building block that I've created. Once I click on that, boom, that gets added in here without me having to type it out over and over. Now, to give you an example of another type of building block that I have created, I created an AI use statement, maybe for my students to know, or for me to know what my students have used with regards to AI in an assessment. So if I go to @AI use statement, this would be just a very simple example of how students can add in how they used AI in an assessment. It's kind of like a self-declaration of this is how I've used AI previously, but that way I don't have to type it out every single time or go back to a previous document, copy and paste it. Just makes my life a little easier to have it as a building block. Okay. Now, let's jump into the second feature that is now available in Google Docs, which is Gemini. Gemini has been integrated into Google Docs for all staff in Edmonton Public for about a month or so. So first off, Gemini now lives on the top right. Over here, you get a whole Gemini experience where I can prompt it, I can ask it questions. I can ask it questions about my document, or I can ask it questions about other things. I can get it to work specifically with this document by refining text, maybe rewriting text in a certain way. I can add sources from another document in my Google Drive, or I can get it to create images so that I can add it to my tests, my quizzes, my assessments, my projects, whatever I may need. That's one of the ways to access Gemini. The other one is actually to just select text that you may want to refine with Gemini, right-click, and go to refine the selected text. And in here, you can rephrase it, shorten it, elaborate it, bulletize, summarize, make it more formal. Or you can include a custom prompt where I write down, maybe make this sound more professional, but keep the tone, that sort of stuff. So that's how we can access Gemini in Google Docs. We have full videos in our YouTube channel about the Gemini integration into Google Workspace. So definitely check those out if you want to learn more about that. Audio features. Now, because of Gemini's integration into Google Docs now has a better text-to-speech feature set. If I go to Tools, I can go down to Audio and click on Listen to this tab. What it's going to do is it's going to start playing text-to-speech, what is in my document.
New features in Google Docs. Building blocks. Meeting notes, April 8th, 2020.
So just an accessibility feature there for if I want to listen to the document, maybe something that you can also point out to your students who might need that support. The other one is to listen to a document summary. And what this is going to do is it's going to, with Gemini, create a summary of the document and play that out loud to you. Just like with any other AI tool, your mileage may vary in terms of how accurate this is. So always double check and make sure that you are going through the document if you do need to, any specific details or any kind of important decision making has to happen because of this document. So yeah, those are the audio features. Now, the other feature that I wanted to talk to you about, moving on to the last two here, is variables. Now, I find variables to be super helpful in creation of assessments. If you like to create, for example, questions that you include your student names into, but you like to change them every year, variables is a great way to do that. So when I include variables into my document, you'll see that they exist as little blocks in here. And when I go in and I change these blocks, so let's say I write down David, that changes every instance of this variable across my document, maybe across that specific question. So next year I have a different set of students. I maybe have Muhammad in my class, and then I do that, and then that gets changed everywhere. And I can do that as many times as I want. Every time I go in here and change up a variable. Maybe I want to make copies of my course outline, but I don't want to have to rewrite the course name every single time. So with a variable, I can say biology 20, maybe that's what I'm teaching, and then that changes it everywhere where there's a mention of the course. Every time I do that again, of course, that is going to change. Maybe I'm teaching chemistry now, and so that's going to change it everywhere. How do I create building blocks? Well, I can just start typing at, get that menu again, and if I type variable, I can add a new variable or select existing variables. So let's say, for example, I want to do a new variable that says animals. And now every time I add the variable animals, and I change this, I can change this to rhino. It's going to change all of the instances of that variable. I even have a little side panel here where I can change up or create new variables to add into my document. So that's variables. The last feature that I wanted to talk to you today is pageless mode. And in pageless mode, this is a very helpful tool for if I have documents that I don't really need to print. I just keep them as digital documents. Maybe they have lots of links. Maybe they have lots of smart chips. Or they're just a document that doesn't need to be printed. If I go to File and Page Setup, if I select Pageless, it's just going to get rid of all of the page breaks. It makes it a little bit easier to format my text without having to worry about text jumping between pages. And I can even go to Insert, Cover Image, and it's just going to allow me to generate an image to put at the very top or choose from a stock image that I may want to have in here as part of my document. I find this to be very helpful for maybe course outlines or maybe like class schedules that don't need to be printed out because they are accessed through Google Classroom. Maybe meeting notes that I have with my faculty or my department that, again, don't need to be printed and I just have them digitally updated every month or so. So that is it for new features in Google Docs. There's lots of stuff coming out every single month, and so we'll probably be making another new features in Google Docs next year or so. But that is it for today. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel if you want to stay up to date with our videos, or reach out to your tips member if you want professional learning about educational technology in your school. That is it for me today. Have an awesome day.